Hi, this video is about creating an assessment. So we're going to go to Activities and then Assessments. There are lots of different kinds of assessments that you can create in Brightspace. So we're going to click New. We're going to title it, so let's just call it something very original like Quiz 1. If you have categories set up, you can do it, but you don't have to use categories. So I'm going to go ahead and save it at this point. I can go ahead and move forward, and actually, if I know what the starting dates and end dates are for the quiz, I can go ahead and set those. The default is to hide it from the user, so you want to, of course, make it visible. I can then display it in the calendar, so those dates will go onto the calendar. And then I can set some things here. So we're going to talk a little bit about Respondus Monitor. There would be training for that. So if you know how to do that, you know where you go and set that if you want this to be available for them to be using a Respondus lockdown browser or the Respondus Monitor. But if it is enabled, then you're going to be able to click those options here. You can add a password if you need to. So if you're going to have somebody proctoring this for some reason, then this is where you'd add a password to it. But I would say keep that blank. You can enforce a time limit, or you can just, if you just say recommended time limit, it's not going to, keep them to a time limit. And this is where you'd add special access if somebody has missed the test, but you want to allow them to go ahead and take it. That's something else beyond what we're doing today. So I'm going to save, and then under assessment is where I'm going to do my links to the actual grade book if I want this to be graded in and then populate automatically. So first of all, I need to add a grade item because I haven't created one in my grade book. So I'm going to go ahead and say quiz 1. And then I'm going to say it's however many points it's worth. Again, you can see all of these other things. I'm going to hit yes. I'm going to set allow automatic export to grades. Now up here, allow attempt to be set as graded immediately upon completion. If it's a quiz that you allow them to take multiple times, then you probably do want to go ahead and have that set. If it is a quiz that they take once, or if it's a test they take once, and you don't want them to be able to see what they made, so they might be able to share what they did with another student. If there's a time frame where they have like maybe 2 or 3 days to take the test, so people are taking it at different times. Or if you don't want them to get the view report that shows what they actually did and what they got incorrect, then I would say don't have automatic grade. Wait and do that after the quiz is finished, and then you can go back and allow it to be graded immediately or release the submission view, right? You can say how many attempts you want to give them. If you give them more than one attempt, then you want to say which of those grades are they going to keep. I always just say highest attempt, right? And then you can come up here, and submission view basically means that when they, the default is they don't get any view back of what they submitted. They just basically say, get a report that says that they submitted it successfully. But if you want to actually give them the questions and show what questions they got wrong, or even what questions they got wrong and what the correct answer was, which might be helpful if you do like a preliminary quiz that's to prepare them for a big quiz, then this is where you would set those options, right? So you could say, yes, show the questions, and then I can say show questions with user responses. So I can just give them the questions with what they wrote. And then when they got it wrong, then maybe you ask them to go in and find which questions they got wrong. But I also can actually show them the question answers. So not only do they show the questions they got, but they also show which ones. So again, I can show just the questions they got incorrect, just the questions they got correct, or this one, and then show the correct answer. So again, you have all sorts of options that you can do there. And when you save that, once they completed it, they're going to get that immediately back so they can see it. All right. So now let's actually look at adding questions. All right. Well, let's look here. You can actually give a description and introduction, and you can turn it on or off. Right. You can also do a page header or footer that appears on every page of the quiz. So if it's a reminder, remember to double check, remember to hit submit, then that would appear on every page. So again, you don't have to put anything there, but you can. So to add questions, you're going to set add edit questions. And then you're going to say what kind of test are you going to give. So true, false. And then I'm going to type in right? And then I'm going to say false because I want to say which is the correct answer. Now I can choose to give feedback for every single answer. So if they said true, I can write here and say no, incorrect, right? Try again if I want to give them another chance to do it. But if I just want, no matter what they answer, if they're just taking it once, and I say, you know, this question is false. Columbus sailed in 1492, right? So that no matter what their answer is, they're going to get that feedback from me, right? And then I can add how many points this question is going to count, right? Now, if I want, notice right up here, when I click there, I can open this up and I have all of those abilities. I can insert a video, I can insert an image, I can insert a mathematical equation or whatever to format this question if I need to. So I'm going to hit save. Oops, I meant to show you. So let's add. So let's say I want to add a multiple choice question this time. All right. So then I can put in the test. Right? And so then I can say, obviously that's the wrong one. If I need to add more options, I can hit add an answer and that'll give me like more choices. I can randomize the answers so that it, you know, Mother Teresa will not always be D, right? I can give feedback like we said before, and then of course I can add points. And down here I can save and copy or save and new. So if I know I'm going to add another multiple choice question, if I hit save and new, it's going to give me a blank place to do that, right? And again, I can come down here and I can add other things. You can explore those if you want. They're just extra things that you can do. So then I go back to quiz 1. If I'm done with my questions, I go back to settings. And it's going to show me all of the questions. It's going to show me the value and what the total of the test will be. Now, if the total is 2 here, but when I set up the quiz, I set that it'll be 10 points each, then it's going to adjust. So you might get a weird fraction if you have you know, like once I had a quiz that was 13 questions, but we changed a text, and so I deleted 2 questions, and I forgot to change the total points that it was worth in the grade section, gradebook section. So I was getting like students making 7.85 points, and I was like, how could they make 7.8? And it was because, oh, I forgot to change the base, you know, on that one place. And that's again why the gradebook can be difficult, because you've got several places where you enter the same information, and if you don't go back and change it in all places, you can get a weird answer. You can also choose to only allow 1 question per page, which is what most instructional design suggests, that they just see 1 question per page. And again, you can see some other things. So again, you can totally, you know, put the description of the quiz and the situation so that when they start it, you know, using your textbook, answer these questions, right? I'm going to save and close. And then if I want to see how it looks, I hit preview from here, right? So I'm going to say start assessment. And then I can actually, oh, I hit submit. Sorry. I hit next page. and then I can hit submit, and then I can say allow it, I can hit submit assessment. And now because I had that submission view installed, right, they can see it. You'll see this is what it looks like if you want to show them their questions and what they answered, the question they got correctly, but what the correct answer was. And that's what this means. X means that this is their answer, but this was the correct choice, right? And then I can hit exit preview to get back to that and make any changes that I need. So again, there are multiple kinds of assessments. Okay, all right, so let's add. So just looking at them very briefly, you can see that you can have multi-select. So if you have, select which of these is correct, which of these two is correct, right? That would be that one. You can do a written response, which means that you can't grade that automatically. You have to go in and grade that by hand, which is the same for the short answer or fill in the blanks. But you can do matching. I mean, there are just quite a few different kinds of quizzes. You can also import a quiz if you've got a zip file or if you've got a question library that you've set up. That's, again, a more advanced thing. So, I'm not going to address that here, but there are ways that you can put those in as well. So if you have a question, just make sure